So guess who we're talking about today? Yup. Godzilla toys, right? What's the first thing that comes to mind when you hear that? Are we talking maybe, Bandai Creations, movie monster series, maybe a little bit of Super 7 here and there, or maybe those really weird knockoff bootleg Godzillas that you see on Amazon? Not exactly. So today, we're going to be specifically talking about the Bandai Namco's Godzilla Action Figure line, which, don't get yeah, the name sounds pretty generic. Don't get me wrong. When you hear it, it's pretty much exactly what you would expect it to be. And last year they announced this new line. So of course they gave us two figures. We have the 2004 Final Wars Godzilla, as well as the 2002 Mecha Godzilla or Kiryu. And they're pretty good figures for the most part. They're pretty decent. My only problem, obviously, was that I was afraid that they were going to make maybe a couple of these, and then that's about it. They probably wouldn't even go all the way with them, right? But it's good to be wrong sometimes, because recently they actually did announce that we were going to be getting a 1995 Burning Godzilla as well as a DESTROYAH. But it's going to be in the form of a 2-pack. So, okay, that's progress. Then that's kind of why I wanted to make a video talking about it, because it's great to see that now they're finally starting to step up their game and kind of enter a little bit more like bigger territory, because for the most part, besides Mechagodzilla, they were just mostly making just Godzilla figures in specific. So of course we got 2004 Godzilla, Godzilla minus one, and then in the 1991 Godzilla. Don't get me wrong, all good figures, but of course, it would have been, within time that we would at least get other characters. So it's great to see that, out of all of them, DESTROYAH was the least, the last character I would have expect to actually get its own action figure in this lineup. So that's actually pretty good to see. So these figures don't come out till, I believe, around the end of June. So, and honestly, I've been meaning to make a video talking about this line for a while, because obviously, at least for the most part, this is pretty new, what they're doing. And don't get me wrong, like I said, these figures were actually pretty decent for the most part. Now, obviously, the way it starts, they're in Japan first, and eventually they do come over here in America. So like I said, it wasn't just 2004 Godzilla and the 2002 Mecha Godzilla we got. Of course, we got the 2023 Godzilla minus one, which is really cool, but I will admit, I can't really say for sure which one's more weaker, when we're talking like how the figures are made. This figure is cool, it has all the details here and there, but there are some parts where it's hard to really describe it. It just kind of seems like that, especially around like in the chest area, they just kind of gave up, but everywhere else is okay. The facial expression is fine. I wish they would have used like a different atomic breath piece though, because it's pretty much the exact same one like the 2004 Godzilla. But luckily when they released the 1991 version, wow, these figures cost $24.99 just for one, and that's that's here in the US. And when it comes to like tariffs and stuff like that, I don't know if that's gonna affect them at all. I haven't even gone into that conversation, but of course I gotta talk about it at some point, which is pretty unfortunate. But I gotta say, huge leap in quality. Now this looks like a $24.99 figure. Like this is definitely something that I would pay $25 for. Definitely for sure the detailing is very, very spot on. And definitely for sure, even some of my pals too, like when I first showed them that they were going to release this, I believe this came up back in February. I could be wrong, I'm not exactly too sure. And of course we got a nice brand new atomic breath piece. I kind of wish it wasn't pointing down though, but either way though, this looks really, really, really great, but I can also see why they made the 1995 Godzilla, because while it's not supposed to be the exact same suit, it was during the Heisei era, so I guess it kind of makes sense. But what I really do love, just judging by what we've seen, he even comes with like smoke effects, because for some of you who probably don't know, So obviously, Burning Godzilla is based off of the film, Godzilla vs. Destroyah, which came out in 1995. And initially, it was supposed to be the last and final Godzilla film. I know you probably hear that tossed around from time to time, but truly, it really was. I mean, I don't want to go into spoilers, but I'm assuming if you're watching this video, you're probably a huge Godzilla fan. I'm only explaining this to the people who are probably not aware, but long story short, things don't really end well for him exactly. I won't really say exactly what happened. How does Destroyer comes into play? Well, that I won't really get into too much. But again, we got to talk about that real quick though, because we could of course see how, the wings are articulated in a sense. And I mean, it looks great. I can only imagine like the size too. I mean, I didn't get too much of a good look at it. It does kind of seem like he might be a bit bigger, because obviously when it comes to sizing and all that, I know that's always been one of the biggest problems when it comes to Bandai's, like Godzilla figures, and especially with the movie Monster series. Sometimes the sizes don't really add up. For the most part, it's not a big deal. Even in my old Ultraman tour reviews, which I need to get on that at some point, I remember mentioning too, as long as the characters kind of look accurate to how they're depicted, the size doesn't bother me too much. Although once in a while, there is that one figure that looks pretty ugly, And of course, the reason why I mentioned Ultraman is because this is clearly what inspired this toy line. Because even before this, in Japan, yeah, they were releasing the Ultraman Action Figure line, which that's literally what it's called, so I'm sorry. And they actually did start to release a couple of them here in the US. So of course we got the 1966 Ultraman, of course we got Ultraman Rise, and of course lastly we had I don't want to say the name wrong, don't get mad at me, Gigatron, this was of course based off of the Netflix film. And they did announce that we're supposed to be getting Ultraman Arc and Zeton at some point. I haven't seen them in stores, so I don't know what's up with that. I don't want to play into politics, but I'm going to assume maybe the whole tariff situation probably comes into play, because that has to do with like shipping, from across different countries and stuff like that. Because like I said, originally these figures were, a mostly Japan exclusive. Ultraman still kind of falls under that category, because like I said, a good majority of their figures are, is a Japan exclusive. So bit by bit, it definitely does seem like that they will release more over here. As for the Godzilla line, it's completely brand new, so who knows what we're gonna get next. I mean, what would you guys like to see? I am super excited for when this 2-pack comes out. Before we end this video, let's go over the lineup really quick. So there's about, I hope I get this number right. So there's about 7 figures as of right now, if we count the 2-packs. We got the 2004 Godzilla, 2002 Mecha Godzilla, -1 Godzilla. There was also an exclusive golden version of -1 Godzilla. It was a Godzilla store exclusive in Japan, but it's also a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive here in the US. I think, I don't know. It's definitely exclusive somewhere. I'm not exactly sure where though. 1991 Godzilla. And of course now we got, okay, no, so I was wrong. So there's 6. And so now there's the Burning Godzilla and the Destroyer. Okay, I was off by 1. Okay, don't get mad at me, but I can't help it. I'm really excited for this. Not just for Godzilla, but also for Ultraman as well. So only time will tell as to what they'll make next. The only downside, obviously, is that they don't really do a whole bunch of these, at a time. Obviously, it definitely seems like they're maybe making like 1 or 2 figures, just like bit by bit, pretty slowly. It's not like, they're going to announce like a whole entire wave, obviously. So it's probably going to take a while before we see the next few figures. But definitely Burning Godzilla and Destroyah will definitely be a pickup for me whenever it comes out. I can only imagine the price though. I can't really say exactly how much it was when I saw it. I don't even know if they even put up a price. Obviously that's a little bit up in the air due to everything that's kind of going on, which unfortunately I have to kind of get into that at some point, like I said. Also, I hope you don't mind, I got these guys in the background. And that reminds me though, would you like to see Gigan in the form of, in the action figure lineup? This is the Playmates Bandai creation, whatever. I have an extra Gigan still fresh in its box. A couple of dents here and there, but I don't plan on opening this because I already have the same figure without the box. So I thought I'd just kind of point that out, because it'd be pretty cool to see other characters too, not just Gigan. Megalon, Hedorah, Jet Jaguar. I mean, well, definitely know where he gets inspiration from, but you get the idea. So that's about it. This video doesn't need to go any longer. Thank you guys for watching. As always, leave a like and subscribe, and that's about it. So see ya.